Good morning, it's Friday and welcome to Elisa Marie Designs if you are new, and welcome back if you are back. I have been wanting to do this video for a while, and it's always on the back of my mind while I am diamond painting that, oh, I should have captured that. Oh, I should have videotaped that. It's going to be a compilation, so you'll probably see me looking differently and in different clothes, but it's a tips. These are my tips. These are not tips that I read about or that I borrowed from someone else. Some of them are just mine. This is just the way that I diamond paint. And I think that they are helpful and they're interesting. And so I wanted to share them with you. And I'm looking at my desk and I'm like, well, the first tip. Now, I read about washi tape on a Reddit post. Let's take this one off. Not all the way off, somewhat off. See a little drill stick in there. About how washi tape reduces static. And in previous videos, I actually put the post. I don't know that I can find it again, but I will tell you, probably one of the best tips that you can use is putting a strip of washi tape along your diamond painting tray. Now, I just loosened this up here. I don't know if I'm going to fussy with it, but anyway, you'll put it in neater. Just put it along the bottom. I certainly would not wrap it, and let me tell you why. I did that because here's a good example. When you wrap it, you get a little gap and some of your diamonds get caught underneath. So don't wrap it. Just run it along your finger in that last little groove. Rip it off. I didn't do a good job. But rip it off. See how it's like buckling in that corner? You don't want that. You don't want that. I probably was in a rush. And I will tell you that I clean all my stuff after I am done using it. So I just got done with a diamond painting. And so what I do is I take everything and I empty everything and I throw it in some sudsy water. I just used my little aligner there in the corner and ripped it off. So that you want a nice clean edge. You don't want anything that's going to trap diamonds on the bottom. And I must have been in a rush to diamond paint. Didn't want to put my washi in there, and I will show you what happened because it's an annoyance every time I go to use this color. This may have been the color that I used. It's this one. You can even see the difference. Look at the difference of this. You see it? And this. See how loose these are? These are not loose. And this is because the first time I went to use these, I put them in the tray. And here's what happened. Without the washi tape, they all went out and found a mate. They all went out and they all clumped together. And this is the way they are every time I go to use them. Even though I'm using them now with the washi tape, makes no difference. So I do have a gadget that I use with this, and if it is in my drawer, I will, well, maybe I'll leave it out. Let's leave it out. I'll get the gadget and I will show you what I use for drills that are sticking together. Okay, found it. I put it away so well because I don't use it anymore, because I have the washi tape trick, that I couldn't find it. And so you have this actually, you know, being a restaurateur also, this actually is something that we use in the kitchen to cut up herbs. That's all it is. And so you put it in here and you turn it. You can almost tell when it's being, oh, terrible sound, right? But let's take a look. I'm going to take a tray. This is my next tip anyway. And let's take a look-see. And there you have it. Your drills are separated. Now there's a few, but I mean, it's not the whole tray. The whole tray, you can tell on this one, was so clumpy. Look at them all. Ugh, terrible. So I'll be crunching these as I need them. But I will never be without my washi tape on my drill tray again. While we are on the subject of trays, and I'll take my one out that has the washi tape on it again. If you get a tray that does not have a stopper, we all have an immense amount of these little squishies. I take them, I cut them, and I use them as a makeshift stopper so that I am not shaking drills all over the place. So you have a little stopper here that you can make yourself. This tray needs a little bit of a bath. I'm gonna put you on the side, you're going in the top. I went upstairs to look for the grinder. I'm gonna take one of my Glass Plus out of here. I found in my stash a drill tray that I don't use anymore, but that I might take out again, and I'll tell you why. It leads me to another tip. This tray has little compartments that when you shake your drill tray, you're going to have some that just go off to the side. This is probably where I would put my washi tape. And then they come in increments of like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I stopped using this because I found it difficult, or you have to have a designated placer that you're going to use. And so if you're like me and you don't diamond paint with one diamond tool, which I don't, I paint also. So I'm very used to having paint brushes in my hand. So I'm gonna take this washi tape that I took off the tray. And so I might have my aligner in my hand. I have the diamond pen that I'm going to use, which is more of a 3 for me these days. A 3 that turns into a 4, sometimes a 5. And then I have, I actually like this little guy. It's only one-sided, but I love these skinny placers. Now this one needs some new. I was diamond painting a lot. This one needs some new putty in there, but I actually love these skinny placers that I get on Amazon. And I like the skinny placers because, the plastic ones, I should say, because they give. Whereas the metal ones don't give. These have just a little bit of flexibility in them that allow you to not have to push so hard. That's the other thing. I don't like pushing down on my pens, especially the single tip. I try not to. I try to have a pen that is designated, and I like this one, which came with my Dreamer Design Kit. It has, again, a 3-placer on the top, but look at the difference. Well, this is a 4 actually, but what I like about this is that the lip comes up and your wax is going to be recessed, because this is used for AB drills, and even this cone shape is used for AB drills. Now, a lot of the times I don't put wax in here because I don't need to. If I just wet the pen the way that this cone shape is, it picks up the AB drills very easily. So this is what I use. It's a plastic tip. When a drill is giving me a hard time, I don't like to press down with the metal tip and ruin the metal tip. I use my plastic tip. So I have that in my hand also. So I'll have like 3 or 4 that I can switch off from. I have different placer sides. But when you're using a tray like this, you have to designate that you're not going to have anything bigger than a 4, I think, because you're not going to be able to get the drills in there. So while I was upstairs, and it did come with a second tray that is just, if you just want to use your straight drills. And I did love the top, because the top, you put your top back on and you're able to shake your drills and place them back in without making a mess. So you have like a little funnel built in on the top, and it came with another lid here. So I think I'm going to try using this tray in conjunction with each other. I'm going to place some of my drills in here and some of my drills in here and give it another shot, and I'll tell you why. This placer is a 10, and I left it on here purposefully because I find that if you go higher, then a 6, that you start to lose an accurate representation of placing the drills down. So if I were to use this, it's a 10, and I want to place 10 drills down in a row. I find that the higher the placer that you go up, that you start to get, like after 6, you start to get this little 1/8 of an inch, or maybe 1/16 of an inch space that starts to happen. And then what do? Yeah, you get 10 drills down, but then you spend your time going like this and pushing them all in. And one thing about placing drills down, once they are down on the canvas, they're already starting to cure. And no matter how many times you push them, and we all do this, we push them and they push back. We push them and they push back, because you need to lift your drills up and place them back down. And some of us are a little intimidated by these tweezers. And so the tweezers, look at that point on there. Look at that sharp, sharp point. Now they have their place. I'm always afraid that I'm going to puncture my canvas, or I'm trying to grab the drill and it's not grabbing and I scratch it. And I believe that you can pick up a square but not a round, or pick up a round and not a square. I don't know, because I don't use them. I use them for other things. I use them to pick up pieces of washi tape, or to take something off, or like to start my washi tape roll, you know, find the edge and do it that way. Or I use them to dig out the putty that I'm going to use this for and dig it out. You know, that's what I use my tweezers for. I don't use them on my canvas. What I use on my canvas, and here's another tip, is I have a designated pair of, where you would get these in the, and maybe you have more than one already at home. These are cuticle dippers. These are just for my diamond painting. There's some glue in there, and they do the trick. They have a nice pointed, they have a flat jaw for one thing, as compared to this. They have a flat jaw. And they have a nice pointed tip. So if I had to get into my drills, let's turn this around. Not that I want to demonstrate on my diamond painting that is finished. But if I had to, and these are pretty cured, I could just, am I in the shot? If I had to, this will hug my drill and it gently pulls it up. Just like that. This is probably going to get a new drill here. But when you place a drill down incorrectly and you try to, this is not pushed in yet, and you try to pick it up or you try and push it, it just pushes back. So I find that these help me a lot more. I picked this tip up because I used to do nails, and when I used to do designs and they have to come off, that's how we take them off. So I don't know, is that my third or fourth tip? I don't know, but I am going to, I have been reducing myself down to a 4 placer, and that's what made me think of these when I went upstairs to look for this guy. If your drills happen to be clumped, which they won't, if you use your washi tape and you have a little makeshift stopper here with your squishy. This canvas is going to not be the right example, but when we get our diamond paintings, we peel back the plastic. I call this like a cellophane. And there is a run of glue along the edge. Well, this canvas did not have it. This is from Diamond Painting Shop. And this particular canvas was made by International something or other. And it's a new technology that they had on the box here. So that's why there's no glue on here. Let me just get that for you. So International Fashion Uprising. I think that this is the name of the company. Let me see here. And what they write is German imported new digital adhesive spray tech. So if you see that anywhere, German imported new digital adhesive spray technology, well, then I would bet my bottom dollar that you are going to get a canvas where the glue maybe, I can't see anything. There's like a little tiny, it's not even as the width of a toothpick. You're going to get a glue that's going to come right up to the edge. But for those canvases that don't, and we use washi tape because we want to keep our canvas clean, we put washi tape down. Now, I bought a bunch of washi tapes from, where did I buy them? Amazon. And they didn't stick very well. So if you have a problem with your washi tape, you can use a glue stick, put a little glue stick around. And also, I keep one of these in my little toolkit. This is a glue eraser. You can even see some of the glue around the edge. And if you opt to not keep your washi tape on, I have used wide band washi tape because it was so pretty and it stuck so well that it kind of framed my portrait out. Really thick, wide washi tape. But if you decide that you're going to take your washi tape off, or I wouldn't recommend this if you wanted to take the glue off and not put the washi tape on, it's going to take you a while. But once you take that washi tape off, there's kind of a residue. I keep one of these glue erasers and I just run it along the edge and it picks up all the glue. And keep this for everything. I mean, we all buy stuff where we take the sticker off and there's glue on it. You can use this to rub along your jars or anything that you buy, mugs and stuff that you want to take the price tag residue that's left behind off very simply. We have our microfiber cloths, but I just keep this in my drawer. This is another little tip of mine that I use, and you could see where I have taken glue off and it has bubbled up on the side that, you know. And it even has a little scoring in here where if you wanted to run an edge in between there and run it back and forth, you can. So it's even good because it has a little scoring on one side for you to put things like something like this in, and you can just rub it back and forth and get it off. That's my next tip. My next tip is all about your eyes, and we can get fatigued, but we love our diamond painting and sometimes we don't know when to stop. My light board. And sometimes you can even find these in places like Five Below. I bought a small one from Five Below. It was like maybe 5 by 7, which was really nice. And it even had 3 different depths of light. And so I have this board. You can certainly plug it in and plug it into a wall, but I'm not near an extension. So I take one of my portable batteries that I have. Let me see here. This, I plugged it in to make sure it was charged for when I went to go diamond paint. And I'm going to take this end, place it in here, and turn my light on. 3 different degrees of brightness. But look at the difference when you place this underneath what you are painting and how much you can see of your canvas. I'm trying to get you as close as I can. How much you can see of your canvas when you are diamond painting. So that's without it. And that's just a low light, a medium light, and then a highlight. So, and I do like the sturdier surface of working on a light board. You know, you're not going to hurt the light board, but it's a nice flat surface and you can see pretty clearly. And I have to tell you, I did this block last night because I'm filling in the border and using the blocks that remain to do my masterclass of the couple. I was able to diamond paint probably a half an hour to 45 minutes faster with the light board than this one or the other confetti blocks that I was doing. I blamed this one on the baggies and then I transferred over to my storage container. But this one took me just as long. But last night when I was sitting here and being able to look through the light board, it just was so much faster, so much better than diamond painting without it. So while you wait for your light board, if you don't have a light board, you can use reader glasses. I had a lamp with a magnifying light on it, and I have to tell you, the lamp was always in my way. Either it was hitting my stylus because I had it down so low, and so as I was diamond painting, the lamp was like right here, and it was a little awkward. I tried my best, but I didn't like that as much as two things that I got from the dollar store. I have a magnifying glass, and I just look. And I love this. After I'm done with a color, I look around to see, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Or is that the letter? Is that an A or is it a 4? We've all been there. Is that a B or is it an 8? Okay, these diamond painting companies have fun with the symbols that they put out for us to use. So I have this. And then on one of my other diamond painting trips, I brought this out too. Where'd it go? Here we go. I keep this in my diamond painting journal. I found this, just a piece of very light. If you don't want to hold something heavy with a handle, it's not that heavy, but it's got some weight. But if you just wanted to use this, why not? Whole sheet. You can look at a whole spot, a whole, more than a 10 by 10. Quicker and faster and easier instead of straining. The only thing is that there was a mark on here that I didn't see when I bought it. But I mean, for $1.25 and not have to wear glasses, because I'm always like taking glasses off, putting them on, putting my prescription glasses on. It's just too much for me. I like things to be very productive, and I am a stickler when it comes to my time. And I'm telling you, right down to the last second, I am. So I was telling you that I keep that one inside of my diamond painting book. Right in here, nicey. But when I took my diamond painting book out, I wanted to show you what I do with my stickers that come with my diamond painting book. I actually place them on the side of the book as a sort of tab, where I can reference what I'm looking for rather quickly by just taking the tab and, oh, there's Rico. And this one is, oh, there's the wink. Now, I was thinking about this when I was sleeping last night, I probably wouldn't put the tabs on long ways. I probably would put them the other way. I think you would see more of the picture than putting it in this way. But I make my own little tabs with the stickers from my diamond painting kits so I can access them very clearly. The other thing that I do, and some of you know if you ever watched me kit up, is when we get our label sheet, I cut the numbers off. I am dyslexic, and the last thing I need is, this is number 5 in the 48 drills that you've gotten, or 24 drills that you've gotten. This is number 5, and this is the DMC number 310. And this is the symbol. I will transpose these numbers, and I will be diamond painting 310. Instead of using 310, I will be picking up number 5 and using that color. I have done it, and I've had to take blocks of color off my canvas. So I take the numbers off, I place them in my book, I place my DMC number, and I look it up, and I place what color it is. And that is the way that I kit up for all of you. When I do a kit up, I show you the diamonds, and I show you, I give you the number, and I give you the color. That is something that I do, and I like it. And I also make notes, talking points, and I make notes about anything that comes up for me while I am diamond painting, how I feel about the palette, what it represents, how I like the colors, anything that should come up, anything, maybe not even with the diamond painting. Maybe I'm thinking about something that happened earlier in the day, or maybe I'm looking at things with a new perspective, but I do journal my diamond painting experiences, and very easily too. In a composition book, you can decorate the outside if you wish to. I use a composition book for everything, which is why it says diamond painting catalog on here, so that when I place it in my little bookcase, I can access it quickly through its binder. I use composition books for everything, and they're always available. I don't have to worry about style, design, matching things. They all, whatever they're for. I use a composition book for my self-care Sunday, and it says self-care Sunday. I use a composition book for my yoga classes, and it says yoga classes. I use a composition book as a house book that I will write house on, and any receipts, contact numbers, they go inside my composition book for the house. I have a medical composition book. Anything that happens to me that I have documented, any tests I have to go to, any questions I want to ask the doctor, any thoughts that I have, because you get into a office with your doctor and everything goes right out of your head. Now, my husband and I just came back from an appointment, and he said to me last night, "When do you have to make your follow-up appointment?" I was like, and he was sitting there with me. I'm like, "Don't you remember?" And he's like, "I actually don't." I'm like, two people sitting there with an appointment with a specialist, and neither one of us knows when I have to go back, and both of us walked out and didn't make the appointment anyway. So composition books, I have done some that are decorated, and if you want to see that, I'd be happy to do a class on that. It's one of the joys that I have, because I used to teach a class called Journal to the Soul, and starting with decorating our composition book was the first class. Hello, I am coming back on camera because our most important tip, and really the one that I should have started with, is to craft time for you. So before you even sit down to diamond paint, be in a comfortable position. Have your desk organized. I organized my desk the night before because I know that once I get done doing the things that I have to do around the house, I want to be able to sit down at my desk, not be looking for anything, have everything available to me, and be ready to diamond paint. So organize your desk, and then organize your seat. Sit down gracefully and comfortably in your chair. Relax your shoulders and take breaks. If you have been with me for some time, I don't know that you can still see them. You can probably see the head of one, but I brought some over for you to look at up close. These are my hourglasses. I love them and I use them. This one is about an hour, and so I turn it upside down, and I can hear it ever so slightly. So I know that it's like, even when I get deep in thought, or when I'm diamond painting and I get kind of lost, I can look up as I'm changing from my storage container and my different colors. I can look up and see my hourglasses. This one is a little bit shorter. Now it'll start out like that, and then it'll fade off. But I like that little sound in the beginning. It gives me a little cue that, like, okay, it's time to begin. And I use it to take a break, to get some water, to stretch. You can use your desk to do certain stretches, especially for your hands. If you place your fingers on the side of your desk and just, give them a press back. You can, of course, do this too, but separate your fingers. Use your piece fingers to separate your fingers like scissors. You can do that. You can roll your shoulders. You can rest your eyes. If you're wearing glasses, take them off, close your eyes, have your eye drops handy if you need them, if your eyes are getting dry, and they get dry, whether you're wearing contacts. We're doing this repetitive motion, and you need to take a break. you need to take a break. You need to get up, you need to stretch, you need to use your chair. There's plenty of exercises that you can find on YouTube of how to stretch in your chair, how to get up and stretch using your chair, as long as it's not one that rolls around and you're going to get injured like me. I didn't get injured on the chair, but I would, but I have one on a roller. And just take that break. Get yourself a glass of water, get yourself a snack. You guys all know I'm a cookie fiend. So anytime I do something like 2 hours of confetti, I'm like, I'm either having a glass of Chardonnay or I'm having a cookie. So take care of you the same way you would with the love and care that you take for your diamond painting. And while we are on the topic of using, and I use an hourglass because my phone is always being occupied. I don't like being disturbed by a watch when I'm diamond painting or I'm videotaping. Even when I teach classes, I don't like having, if I'm teaching yoga, I don't care if it's a wind chime and it sounds like I'm in Tibet. I don't care. I don't like even the slightest noise disturbing anybody that's not already being played when they come in and hearing this chime, because then they start to listen for it. So I don't use that, but I do use my hourglasses. And if you don't want to get something this big, Amazon makes a nice set of little portable ones that you can throw in your bag, that I think they go up to 30 minutes or an hour. So that's like 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 and an hour. I think there's like 6 of them, and they're just like the little plastic ones that you would use, just something that's not going to disturb you as you're diamond painting, but that you are aware of. And it's a good way also, because I am so bad at, I always want to keep time with my diamond. How much am I actually diamond painting? What is it taking to complete this diamond painting? How much time? And so I know by my hourglasses how much time it's taking me. You know, my hour and a half one, it's a bigger one. It's actually up there. That if I turn that over once, it's 3 hours that I've been diamond painting. So it's a good way to keep track. And if you want to keep track, you could put a little log in your composition book that you have for your diamond painting journal, and you can keep a log of your time that you spend diamond painting. Or there's another app that you can use on your phone that's called GEMSFLOW, and you can upload a picture of your diamond painting. You can add all your colors in if you're a techie and you like doing that. I did it for a while. I kind of stopped. You can add up you can put all your information in about a particular painting, when you purchased it, how much it was, where you got it from, when it arrived, what your first thoughts were. There's a whole, it's very, very, very condensed, and it's done very nicely. And then you could put your colors in, and they will give you the DMC codes. Also, if you want to convert your diamond painting, you'll already have that done. But what is nice about it is if you are out and you're shopping and maybe you come across a frame. I do a lot of thrifting, and so I like having that information of like, oh, these are the dimensions. Now, of course, I can look it up on the website and see. But, you know, just having it like, oh, I got this in my GEMSFLOW and I can look this up and I could see what the dimensions are, and maybe this frame will fit. You know, the thrift store, that's another tip. Great place to look for frames that might fit your diamond painting. And if you're a little crafty and you want to maybe give it a little sanding and a little gesso and a little paint, you can, I mean, you can work so many different, there's so many beautiful frames that have maybe not your taste of the portrait that's inside, but the frame and the price. Sometimes you get gorgeous frames where you really can't find anything like that today to frame your beautiful artwork. I have a Van Gogh that is not framed yet. I did the irises, and I would love to have an antique frame. As soon as I can get out thrifting again, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so another couple of tips there for you, just from the hourglass. So I took a piece of washi tape and I just placed it on the top of my storage tray. And I'm going to write the letters R, O, Y, G, B, I, V. And I want you to think of this as like a signature. Mr. Roy G. Biv. I place my drills in rainbow order. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Now I don't have any blue or indigo. There's no blue, there's no indigo in this painting whatsoever. And I'm speaking of the Kiss, Gustav Klimt's Kiss. Keeping my drills in this order when I am looking at my canvas and I'm looking at a letter or symbol or a number, and I see that the A is yellow, my eye goes right to the yellow, and I have my drills out in front of me. And another thing that I do when I use my drills, when I go to place them back, I don't put them back this way. If I've used it already, I let it stand upward. So I'm going to be coming back, if I'm going to do more than one section, I'm going to be coming back sometimes to colors, or if I forget a color, it's just right here. I know it's standing up. So I stand my colors up, and I stand them up for a lot of reasons. And this just came to me the other day when I did the first section, the first tile here. And I said, oh, you know what? I said it on camera. I mean, I could have certainly reviewed it and then put it in the information. You know, this took me close to 2.5 hours, this first section. It was a lot of confetti. And I was like, oh, I really wish I would have kept count of how many colors were in this section. Had I let my colors just stand up when I was done with them, it would have been a very easy count for me, and I would have known without having to review the tape and look and see. But I like doing that. And also, if anything needs to be refilled, you know, it's right here. It doesn't make a lot of noise too when I'm filming, not like that. You know, you hear me in the background doing this. If I need the color again, it's very gently. Sometimes I stand them up before I start videotaping now. This is something new because I know that I'm going to need this color, and let me just stand it up so that I have it. But I do like keeping my color palette in a rainbow order. So this is the spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Any color that is below red is infrared, and any color that is above violet is ultraviolet. So there's your little color class today. And the palette always looks so pretty when it's in rainbow order. I love it. Roy G. Biv. I'm going to go right into the next tip here, because I'm going back to the placer. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is load up my placer with some putty. And I've been using the putty also in the single end, not just in my placer end. I am hooked on this scent. It's called Snow Day, and so is my little cat Foofy. Every time he hears me open this up, usually he comes a running because he loves the smell and he wants to smell it. He doesn't want to eat it. He just wants to smell it. And so I'm going to put some of my putty in here. And you saw me just place it in very gently. And that, you know, I had a lot of problems with putty when I first started diamond painting. I felt like everyone was using putty and I couldn't use it. I just had, oh God, it was my kryptonite, and I felt like I was missing out. And I think in the beginning, well, yeah, I was using wax. I was using wax in my placers. And there are some waxes that weren't bad. I love the wax. I say it all the time. That comes in my Dreamer Design kit. I find it to be a cross between wax and putty. It's very nice. But I love that I can use putty now because I have enough of it in my drawer. So I'm going to put that little extra piece back. I'm going to put this away. And I'm going to take out whatever I see here that's like a juicy line, and I think it's the 8. So this is something that I found out about myself, and maybe this is you also. I do a lot of crafts, and oh, let's use our little pink trays. let's see, even though I need one long line, but let's just see. I do a lot of crafts, and one of the things that I, handwriting, I do a lot of lettering, and I do a lot of crochet. I'll just put these extra ones in here. And something that I discovered about my drill placement was that my drill placement, much like my handwriting as an example, and much like my crochet work, kind of slants. And also, this actually came to me when I was bowling. My son is an excellent bowler, and he kept saying to me, Mom, you keep turning your wrist. You keep turning your wrist. And we had just came back from bowling, and I sat down with diamond painting after the trauma of bowling. It's fun, but I shouldn't even be allowed to play because I never get on the scoreboard. So I was sitting down, and it was like in my head, I was a little upset with myself that I just couldn't get it. And my son said, I kept hearing my son in the back of my head saying, Mom, you keep turning your wrist, you keep turning your wrist. And while I was diamond painting, I was noticing that I was doing the same exact thing. I was turning my wrist as I was diamond painting. And so that's where I'm going with this tip here. It's interesting when you are like in tune to yourself and what you see developing through your diamond painting. I need a, oh, it's probably on my fancy, here we go. It's on my fancy pen. Okay, so I got a 3, and I got my aligner, and I have my 10. So I'm going to pick up my drills. Usually what I do is I push them over to one side so that they're all aligned. And then I lift it up and I get a nice, look at that line, a nice line. I place it down almost the same way. Oh, these are not all A's. Oh, shooty shoot. I thought they were on like a line of A's that I could have, well, there's a line of B's there. How many A's are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, more like 6. So let's take this guy out. You are a 6. Okay. So I'm going to, again, and this is a different placer. This is a metal one and a shorter one. Push everything over to the side, lift my drill pen up. Again, a straight line. I place my, I should be able to get you closer to this. I place my drill pen. I'm going to do it the opposite direction. You could do it either direction. Well, here's a long line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to take one off because this will prove my point with the other one. Okay, I'm placing my drill down on the line, and being that I noticed that I turned my wrist, it is exactly the way that I was diamond painting. I was turning my wrist over a little bit and my drills weren't lining up. So here's another tip. I learned this through drawing, is don't look at where you're going, look at where you want to go. So I want to go right along this line, and that's where my eye is looking. It's not looking at this, it's looking at this line here in between the 2 and the A. So what I do is I'm looking at my line, and you see how my placer just levels out, or you can use the line that you are on to get yourself in gear. And then I place my drills down and I pick my drills up. And I got a pretty straight line there, right? But still, there's this little gap all the time with these longer placers that I still have to move this one down, and I have to move that one down, and I have to move that one down, and that one, and that one. And then they start to fall into place. So now for me, that is a straight line and more in line. So that's why I was saying with these longer placers, they seem to leave these little gaps that you still have to end up straightening out your drill. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is a 6, and I do have 6 on there. I'm going to take one off. Now I have a little space in here. You see the difference? That did not leave a space at the bottom like the 10 placer did. I don't have to fiddle around with this because my drills are in line and they are straight. The next thing that I want to try out with you guys is using this compartment to see how we pick up, being that I'm going to be dedicated to just using this 4 placer. So here are 4 drills here. Pretty neat. Okay, pretty neat. Pretty neat. I might have to give this a second try. Let me see if I could pick up a 3 pretty neatly. Okay. I think I may have fallen back in love with this. If I could use both trays in conjunction with one another. And this has a little drill spout too, to take your drills out. I don't think I'm going to use that one. I think I might put the lid on both of these and use it that way. So yeah, okay. And being that I am more with using my smaller placer even for longer lines, I think I may have fallen back in love with this. So okay, there's my little demo for that. Let's pick up another one. Here we go. This is what happens. I get lost in diamond painting. Now I went to pick up I think I went to pick up a 4. I do like that with this compartment is that, you know, sometimes you have to keep your drills together, in space in between, and this is kind of doing that. And I didn't give this a really good shake. It's doing that for me. So my drills you can't fit another drill in there. So you can have them really nice and neat that way. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to go back to using this. I'm really liking it, and I think everything is really neat. Can you see that? Am I in the shot? I do this all the time. Am I in the shot? I'll do a few more. So I am picking up. It's really neat that they all are coming up that way. And I'm placing down, keeping my wrist straight, not cockamamie like I usually am. And again, not looking at my placer, not looking at my pen. What am I doing? I'm taking everything off here. But looking at the line in between the 2 rows, because that's where I want to go. And that's a trick with drawing. Don't look at your pencil. Don't look at the paper. Look at where you want to go. Think of drawing a circle in your mind, and you will draw a perfect circle. There we have it. There we go. I like it. I like it. I'm always looking to add something, some new energy to my diamond painting. So I may have put these away and didn't use them, but they're gonna find another life. they're gonna get a revival. Like, let's put them back. So I put my little lid on. It has a funnel. I usually take these off. Being clumsy. Let me put this back on. Let me pick up these 3 guys. My next tip. One tip after another. Just picking these up. I have another tip for you guys. Just give me a sec. So those of you that follow me and are part of the Lisa Marie Design family, you know that I'm always with my Glass Plus. I'm always cleaning. I'm always wiping something up and cleaning. So I had these out and I was doing AB drills, and I think I was reading actually that same box where it was saying that when you finish with your diamond painting, you should use a microfiber cloth to clean your canvas, and it would pick up any residue or any wax that got left behind on your drills. And if you wanted to take the shine off of your pixie dust drills or your AB drills, because they're coated with a special coating that make them glimmer or shimmer or pixie dust or glow. the easiest way to do that would be with a microfiber cloth. A microfiber is like little teeth. And I thought, oh no, I would never run an AB cloth. What am I saying? A microfiber cloth across my diamond painting. No way. I would use a lint-free cloth. And I just happened to look and my Glass Plus was out and I thought, you know, every time I put my AB drills out to place them, another tip is to wet, you use a wax to place your AB drills, but if you wet the tip with water and then pick up your AB drills, they won't stick and pull your wax out. The water acts as a release. But I don't like having water on my desk, even like in a little shot glass. It's not going to damage my painting should it fall. It won't. It'll just get wet and you can wipe it up. The same thing if anything gets stuck to your canvas, like I think somebody had a tissue get stuck, and of course the tissue is delicate, and they took it off and they were freaking out that the tissue was stuck. Just get a baby wipe, and you can even use a baby wipe if you don't want to use Glass Plus. But I use Glass Plus because they have a lint-free cloth. I get these like in Aldi, and they're very, very wet. They're extremely wet. So I can use this to just dab my pen and place my AB drills down. Now, the other thing that was freaking me out when I was kitting up, I decided that I was not going to kit this kit up, and I don't know what the heck I was thinking at all. Not kitting this kit up. And it took me so long because I kept opening and closing baggies. Now, that might not bother you, and you're not filming, but it was driving me nuts, and it was taking a lot of time. And plus, my hands are always dry. So I took my cloth, and I was like, oh my gosh. In fact, I had a dream last night about Swartwick. I swear to God, I'm just remembering it now. I had a dream about Swartwick, and I was like, how did I not remember this tip? When I worked, you know, I had restaurants, and I always had Swartwick, which is that little wax, that little oily wax that you use to lubricate your fingers. Sometimes you'll see your cashier with it to count money, or your banker. I don't like the whole, some people use a lemon, some people use a sponge with water in it that will just mold. I don't understand that. But I had my glass cloth, and I just wetted my hands, and I was able just to twist, like rub my fingers together like you're going to snap your fingers, and my bags were opening and closing like lightning. But then I also used them to wet my fingers when you have a spill with your drills and you can't pick them up because your hands are dry. There you go. All my drills are picked up. And I put them back in my container. Boom. I love my Glass Plus. And I do use it after I'm done placing my AB drills anyway, because if there is any residue, I'm going to be able to wipe it all up without damaging my canvas, without using something like a microfiber cloth if I get anything along the side or whatever. I love them, and I love that I'm able to use them to place my AB drills, to wipe down my AB drills, and to wet my hands to pick up my AB drills when I drop them, as we all do. So that's my next tip. Washi tape. I had to find something to do with this washi tape that I didn't like. But see what I mean? Take a piece of washi tape. Maybe not that piece. I don't like it. It got ripped. Crazy. This is where I would use my tweezer. I'm going to take a piece of washi tape. And I'm going to take my scissor that, of course, I buried underneath here. Did I bury it? Is it out? No, it's out. Thank God. Can't stand all the background noise. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of washi tape. Let's make this neat. And I'm going to put one in the right-hand corner of my canvas. I'm going to do these on all corners, but I'm just going to use this one as a demo. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one on each corner, the left-hand side and both bottom. And what I'm going to do, looking at my canvas, this is the top of my canvas, I am going to write the word top. Again, this comes back to being dyslexic and symbols and sometimes we turn our canvases upside down. And I had in the Winter Fox, we all do. We all have the symbols of arrows that are going to the right and to the left. If you like math, it's greater than and less than symbols. And we have the arrows that are going up and going down. And I picked up, of course, the right and left arrows. Not only were we have arrows that are going in each direction, but they were similar in color. And so I had forgotten that I turned my canvas upside down, and of course the right is the left and the left is the right, and I had to take a big chunk of my diamond painting out and redo it over. And so now, by having something that says top in each corner and bottom in each corner, at a glance I can look and see which corner, like not only which corner am I in, which way I am oriented. I don't know, maybe it is from being dyslexic, or maybe it's just from, you forget. But another thing that I wanted to say about putting that top and bottom, that's not enough. If your painting is upside down, and if you can keep that in your mind, and you probably will when you're looking at your washi tape now, if you're looking at your canvas upside down, when you take your drills out, turn them upside down. And that might be a good thing if you are prepping yourself to get ready to diamond paint. They're actually playing Christmas music right now on my jazz station. I don't know why. But if you're prepping yourself, as I said earlier, by this is the block that I'm doing, and I could see I need A, and I need number 9, and I need number 7, and I need E. You see how fast I'm finding these also, because I know by the color where they are, and I need B, and I need H. Well, not only am I going to stick these up so that I can find them right away, but maybe, well, you could turn them upside down already for yourself, so that when you pick it up, it's already there. I wouldn't want to chance that too much. I don't know. The gods are always listening. That's my thing. But if you want to, that's just another tip for you. Turn your drills when you turn your canvas. It's a good thing, as Martha says. I'm going back to our diamond pens and putty. If you would like to try this trick with the putty, of using it, to me it's like a trick because I finally got it to like me. And there is a little trick to putty. I'm not just being funny. When you use putty, the lighter the touch that you can use, the better. So I place my putty so that is, let me have the new one that one needs to be cleaned off. You see how my putty is flush, it's not hanging over, and it's not sticking up. When you go to pick up your drills, the lighter the touch, and when you go to place them down, the lighter the touch is the best method of having your putty work for you. The other thing that I wanted to say is, and I've been using this for years, when you go to your dollar store to get your magnifying glass or your magnifying sheet, they have this blue tack. Now this has got some stuff in it because I took this off my wall. I've used this 100 times already, and I have been using it in my pen. I find that this adheres to the smaller point on my pen better than my putty. So I just take a little piece off and I place my pen. Let me see if I have an extra pen that had putty in it. This actually has wax in it, but and if you had wax in your stylus, it won't take the putty unless you wash it out. But I just place a piece in there, and I find that it, I'll just press it in. I find that it stays better I think that this blue tack is a little bit more sturdier than these putties that are scented, and that's probably what it is. I would bet my bottom dollar on it. They have essential oils in them, so they sweat, and they have a beautiful aroma. I mean, especially when you use the smaller size. When you use a single, and you have a scented putty in there, I smell it even more, maybe because you're using it more often when you're doing like a single placing section. That's when I really smell the aroma, but this doesn't have an aroma in it. And I find that it stays in the pen better because it's a smaller space, and it's just easier to use for the smaller end. But I will still be using my putty for my larger end, my scented putties. But like I said, when you go to your dollar store and you get your magnifying glass, you can get yourself some of this poster tack. I used this in my restaurant when people would come in and they would want to decorate and they would want to put tape up, and I would say, no, please, here's a package of poster tack, got it at the dollar store, no biggie. Please use the poster tack to hang anything up so that it doesn't damage my walls. I did it when my kid was little, and I still use it around my house today because I have a husband who is clumsy, and I like to place this under things that I think he might bump into and break, and so that they don't move. Like my, I'm not kidding you, the one on the piano, which is why it's not here, is actually has some of this underneath of it so that, you know, John plays the piano. Should he get a little crazy, or, you know, people hanging around the piano while he's playing, if they bump into the piano, they're not going to knock over any of my valuables that I have on there because they are blue tacked down to the piano and it won't damage my piano. I'm not worried about it. So there's another tip for you, dollar store tip. So let's get back to our washi tape. I like washi tape from Diamond Art Club. I think that they make some of the best washi tape that come in the kits. I can take this off and reuse it in other sections. As like once I cut off a section, I usually peel the washi tape off and I use it again. So when you are placing your washi tape, the same rule applies with your eye. When you are using your washi tape, let me see, I'll take this one here. Oh, this is my good one. Let's use the bad one. Let's use the cocky one. I don't like this one. When I am sectioning off my canvas, again, I am looking at the line that's in between the two symbols, and I let my eye follow the line and the washi tape. See what I mean about this washi tape? Here we go. I already have to cut it off. It's curling. It's driving me nuts. So I let my eye follow the line, and I will always hit the mark. Always. My eye follows the line. That's tip number one. Tip number two is to keep your washi tape loose. Don't pull it too tight because it will bunch this plastic up underneath, and you'll see, you'll know when you've put your washi tape on too tight and you feel like this is bubbling and it feels awkward, and when you try and cut your section off and use your cover minder, you will be able to tell. Let me cut this off. Okay. So if that does happen, just pick your washi tape up, even if you have to put a new slice down. Pick your washi tape up and put it down more gently. So that's one tip. Now, this canvas is pretty tight to the edge, okay? Maybe not. Maybe it has the same overlap. Or maybe it's because I don't have washi tape on underneath, but I didn't do something that I normally do. So if I have a canvas with a glue edge that I am going to put washi tape on, being that I have washi tape underneath, there's usually a big overlap. What I'll do is I'll come in and I will cut that extra overlap off. And I'll tell you why. I'm just going to use this section. We usually go beyond the line when we're laying out our washi tape to section off, and this starts to curl up and it just gets annoying, and it attaches to our clothing, and even if it's just a sweatshirt or a sweater, it just gets annoying and it starts to look really unkempt and just like, it's just not neat. You know what I mean? It's sloppy. And so I started to cut that edge off because I'm going to have a piece of washi tape here anyway. And I like that better. It just looks neater. It stays cleaner. I'm not catching the edge. I'm not rolling up my washi tape where it just makes me crazy. So that was my tip that I had for placing your washi tape. Look at the line. Don't look at the washi tape. You'll hit your mark. Cut off your extra edge. See if that helps. Just do it with one block like I did there. My next tip that I have for you guys is creating a 3D color chart for your canvas. And this is something that I started after I did the Winter Fox, and I'm a handmade artist and I like having a handmade detail to my work. This is someone else's artwork that was reproduced and I was permitted to use it, and it's legally licensed. So I wouldn't add something like my signature on it, of course. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't. So I wanted to personalize it in some way, but also it was something helpful by creating a 3D color chart. And I liked it so much when it was finished that I decided that that was going to be the handmade mark that I was going to use for my painting, and probably even leave it on there when I framed it. I liked it so much. So let me show you how I did it. You're going to need a roll of double-sided tape. Now this is one that I've had from my craft room, and the next time I go and buy a roll, I'm probably going to buy a thinner roll than this. So I'll show you also how I worked around that. So you have your color chart, and what makes this helpful is if you're like me and you go to put your drills away and you pick up the wrong container, which is another reason why I like those containers standing up. You go to put your drills away and you accidentally pick up the wrong container and you mix your drills together. What a horror, right? So let's see if this will work. I'm going to first cover the symbol and the numbers. I don't need those. And that's going to act like a guide for me also. I'll cut this off. Oops. See, I cut my plastic off, so I thought I was good to go. There's some plastic underneath here. Well, let's just do a small section. I don't have to do the whole section. It's probably better that I do it that way anyway. So let's just cover. Again, I'm looking at my line. I'm worried about the washi tape, so I am kind of looking at the washi tape too. So let's just cut that off. See, it's already starting to curl up. My Diamond Art Club would not do that. Where's my rag? Pick that up. Okay. And so then I'm going to take a piece of my double-sided glue tape. And the reason for, I'm just going to take a small piece because I'm not going to be working this whole thing right now. If I was doing this, I would do the whole thing. I'm going to take this middle section here. I'm going to place it on the outside, and the overlap is going to go on my washi for easy cleanup. And then using my pointy tweezers, here we go. That's going to come off. I'm going to throw that away. And I'm able to see through my washi tape what that number is, number 700, and it looks like the, turn this way, it looks like the hourglass symbol. Is it? Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Where am I? Where did I put the tape? Oh, here it is. Wrong number. Okay, so it's the arrow going down, and it looks like the green. Here it is. $6.99. So I have my number on there, my DMC number. And what I'm going to do, and I'm going to take my, I'm going to use my new case because I want to have 3 of these. And I'm going to use my small placer and going to pick up 3. And I'm going to, I start from the bottom. This is $6.99, right? I'm getting confused with 700. I'm going to start from the bottom, and I'm going to place 3. And then I'm going to place another 3. And this begins me making a 3D color chart for my canvas, and also for me. Sometimes I get confused, or you know, the drills get mixed up and I'm like, oh my gosh, what color is this? What color was I working? You know, it just gets crazy. So I'm able to have this and also use the extra drills that I have and make myself a really pretty frame of a color code. And if you want to see what that looks like, I'm trying to use this. I don't like this spout for this one. If you want to see what it looks like, I believe I did a tutorial on the border. I think it's just called, you know, border tutorial. I want to put that away, and then that begins my journey into placing these on here. You know, I have a ruler. I think I got this, someone gave it to me, or I got it in a kit, or I can't remember, but I did end up using it and I loved it. And this is not a round drill, it's a square drill, but it did line up really nicely and I did try it. And if you're a new diamond painter, or you have somebody young that you want to teach them, or if you get a chart that doesn't have the training wheels on it, like the little circles around, and you want to be really precise, you can use a little washi tape to tape this down to the plastic, not your painting, and you could take that section and have it free. And I have to tell you, it really did give a really nice, clean, straight line. If it wasn't a time element, I probably would have used it throughout the whole chart, but I just wanted to try it and I loved it. But I'm not ready to give up my placers yet. So, but it was really fun to use a diamond painting ruler. So I went ahead and I put the rest of the drills in where the glue was exposed because I didn't want it to get dirty. Now this is double-sided tape, so it's not glue. It's not as strong as the drills being adhered to your painting. I will probably put Mod Podge or diamond painting sealant on that. We all have these cutters that we use to cut our plastic and cut off our section. So what I'm going to do is just run that along the side where the overlapping glue was. The glue cuts very easily. I'm going to hold on to this washi tape that is driving me nutso. And I'm just going to pull this up. And there you go. I'll clean up this edge. This glue cuts very, very easily. I'll do that off camera and maybe even use my pointy tweezers for this job to pull off any overlapping glue here. There you go. I'll clean up the rest. But there you have it. You have your 3D color chart. It just looks so pretty along the side. I love it, and I love doing this, and I'll do the rest. So while I was just talking about overlapping glue and cutting it away, it reminded me of another tip that I use, and that is how to get like a nice even edge along your canvas. So right here you can see that I have 3 symbol 7s going across, and instead of picking up 3, I'm going to pick up 4, and I picked up the wrong placer, the wrong pen, not the wrong placer. Oh boy, I'm going to pick up a 4 here, nice and neat. Instead of picking up 3 drills, I'm going to pick up 4. and I'm going to let one overlap on the side. And I'm going to pick that one up, which is a breeze because I don't have any glue here, and I could place it right underneath. So by letting one drill overlap, I'm able to get a neat edge. And up there, there's a 3 up there too. So I'm going to pick up 4 drills. And I'm going to let one overlap. And there you go. There's a nice, neat edge. There's 2 in the next one, so I'll pick up 3. Making it nice and neat. I'm going to pick up 3, but I'm going to only be placing down 2. And I can get a nice, neat edge that way. My painting. Something else that is like my best friend in my diamond painting is my aligner. I love it. It's always in my hand. I will just press this in between the drills and then section it off. You might have to do it a few times and go in the opposite direction, but your drills will straighten out and you'll have a nice clean edge with just a little bit of time. But if you want to avoid all that, you can use this trick here. So much better. Believe it or not, I have 3 more tips for you. And one goes, well, 2 go back to your comfort. And one is to make your life easier when you make a boo-boo. Now, I'm not going to make this boo-boo because I make it enough on my own. I'm not going to make it for a demo. But should you mix up 2 of your drills, and the worst one that I ever did was I mixed up, let me take these glasses off because I can't see with them. I mixed up black, and I mixed up 938, and I mixed up this chocolate brown. Now, can you imagine these 3 drills all in one container? I mixed up 2, and then when they were mixed up, I don't know what I was doing. I picked up another color and mixed these 3, so identical in color, all into one jar. Yep, I did that. So what I do is I place my drills on a mat. You can use a cutting board. You could use something with a little bit of height because you're going to want to pick these up. And I place them on my mat. I'm going to take just one color, one that you could see. And this is what I do. Well, this is what I did with the other one. I was like, here's the black, here's the brown, here's the royal blue, black, brown, royal blue. And I did this until they were all sorted out. So that is one way of sorting through your drills. And I'll tell you, if I had my color code here, I would know exactly the colors that I was looking at because I was going a little bit blind when I was sorting these out. Let me get these back in. Oh, and I don't know what drawer I took it from. You see what I mean? You see what I do? Making sure here. Nope, they're 2 different colors. I would have threw these back in. Oh boy, I am not doing this for effect, let me tell you, because this is like one of the worst things that I do is when I get mixed up and I have 2 drill containers out and they look almost identical. I'm going to use I'm going to wet my hands and I'm going to pick these up and put them back where they belong. I'm going to just make sure that I have the right color here. I do. Okay, so they're going back in here. My heart is racing. This is such a horror for me when I do something like this, like mix up the drills and put them in the wrong container. Nothing slows you up more as a diamond painter when you do something like that. And these are stuck because why the rubber mat? We're going to go back to placing AB drills. So we know to wet our wax, either if you use something like I do, like the Glass Plus, to wet. They're very juicy and I like not having water on my desk. But if you place something like a rubber mat, a mouse pad, when I was a rubber stamper, we had a rubber stamp pad. You could still find those. If you place it underneath, you have a little cushion here, but not only a cushion, it gives to push back so that when you are placing your ABs, or maybe you want to do this all the time with your drills, a nice cushy surface to diamond paint on, because there's a little bit of give, but it's still sturdy enough. And I feel, because even when I was a rubber stamper, and I'm going back to when rubber stamps were on wood blocks, you could still find them, we needed to have a nice firm, but giving back a little bit, pushing back up so that we would get a nice imprint of the rubber stamp on the type of paper that we were using. And I like when I use this, when I diamond paint, and you can even use this just as, you know, if you wanted to diamond paint with something like a mouse pad underneath, it's just a nice surface, and it might help you not hold your pen tightly. Keep your hand relaxed, keep your wrist relaxed, and keep a light touch, especially if you're using the putty. Keep a light touch when you are picking up, and you don't want to get yourself exhausted. You want to put a lot of tension in your hand. You're doing a repetitive motion. That's how carpal tunnel develops. And that's going to bring me to my final tip. I had a bunch of extra drills. I have even more than this. But I had this long baggie. You can actually find something similar to this in ShopRite, in your store. They make these baggies that are they have increments of measurement on them, like I think it's like a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and I think they're by Glad, if they make a baggie for food. But sometimes my hand does hurt, and I picked this up because my eye pillow is upstairs and I'm in a boot, and I folded it over and I use it to lean on. It's nice and cushy to diamond paint. So if you're having any problem with your hand or wrist, you want a little support, take maybe a washcloth and roll that up. But I kind of like this bean bag effect. And if you're looking for something to do with those extra drills, you can make a little eye pillow out of this. Not plastic, but you certainly, I was going to do this in one of my upcoming videos. I bought, again, in the dollar store, one of those yard fabrics. I think they're a yard. I don't know. I don't quilt or anything like that. But I said, oh, what a great idea to put my extra drills in and make myself an eye pillow, because I use eye pillows for a multiple of uses, not just across my eyes, but when I am meditating or I am doing a shavasana, I like to use eye pillows. Sometimes I just need like a little bit more height underneath the head, and sometimes I like to just, if I have a student that maybe has a lot of stress or tension, they find it hard to, it's a learned behavior. They're walking around with their hands clasped, and I'll put an eye pillow in their hand, and it makes them feel comforted. It feels like someone's holding your hand. It's a nice weighted feeling too, and it helps their hands relax. So I would put definitely more than this in here. This is for something else that I have coming up, but I have a whole bag of extra drills from the Winter Fox, and I just cannot save any more drills. I just can't. I mean, I'm saving all these drills for the perchance that maybe one falls off and I have it. So I got this little baggie the other day, and I was like, wow, this is a nice makeshift eye pillow, since I can't get up the stairs, at least when nobody's home, to get my eye pillow that I use. But again, a washcloth and eye pillow, that's another tip for your comfort. Always slipping yoga in there somewhere, right? But I thank you. I've been looking to do this for a long time. I just feel like these are ideas that they bring me comfort. They come from my own experience diamond painting, and you know how I love to share, and so I'm sharing them with you. And so have a good weekend. It's already another week going by, and we'll be getting back on track with Klimt and the masterclass. And I will see you on Sunday for Self-Care Sunday. Have a good weekend.